So again, welcome back to week 2 of 4 in the Connecting with the Spirit World, really awakening to your intuitive abilities. And this week is, last week we began to open up and talk about consciousness and how our ability in terms of becoming conscious, becoming aware, how we could tune in to a whole different stream of information that's available to us outside our thinking and our to-do list. We have this amazing unveil that we can become consciously aware of, and we can perceive it in a way that helps us. It's our language of our soul. And this week we're going to take it a little step further, and we're going to go into a different realm. Last week was archangels, and we met our guardian angels with an S or one. And this week we're going to move into the ascended master realm, where we could really tune into our higher self in that connection with the wisdom and the it's like the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness. That's our right. It's an access into the infinite mind, into that realm today through the teachings and the guided meditations, so that we could meet those unique and special helpers that help us in terms of that realm. And we're going to talk about who they are, how we could recognize them, and the function in our life. So we're going to delve right in. So I'm going to begin with, again, welcoming you all back. This will be available in a recording tomorrow, and I'll be sure to send that to you. So I'm just going to minimize my screen and share. Here we go. So can you still see me?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great. I'm happy because I've just turned that off so that I can have the slides in front of me. So I won't be able to see anyone. So speak up if you need me for a few minutes as I go through these slides in the next 20 minutes. So I've got, see how I'm hinting towards the creation things that are coming through. So some of the things that I spoke on in week 1 were my title and how those modalities created an awakening and taught me and continues to teach me to facilitate spiritual information and connections. I'm allowing myself to be a conduit. And that's literally what this journey is about, because it's beyond the self. It's beyond the me. It's a oneness that we're experiencing. And Ascended Master speaks to this. And we're going to talk about that when we get into that slide. But it also helps us to really be a channel in our life and to really get on life purpose and to create the things that are of service. And one of the things that I have recently come to create, the process of putting a book together. And I'm really excited based on discernments of signs and synchronicities. And also the tools of delving in with meditation, being open to channeling people on a journey to connect with them. Is I need to be in that state in order to lead you into that state. So guided meditations have become such a beautiful experience that I'm practicing, and I hope to really bring you into those states too and invite you to join me through some of the tools of hypnosis and other things. So part 2, it's the process of discernment. And so I like the little pictures that I found today. I thought I would put them up, share them. Yes, no, maybe, like just so confused, and then just, you know, getting into fear and confusion and overwhelm. And that's literally the discernment of trying to get clear. And so the first step towards learning the language of your soul and communicating with spirit is learning how to discern. We're going to learn this week on how to discern a yes and a no, but you could discern the process on perceiving so much more when you begin to inquire and really open up that two-way communication. So in this course, open your mind, open your heart to see things from a place of communicating with your inner being and co-creating with those beings that are unique to you, that are showing up every day, and especially in this time together, as we call them, and we invite them in, especially during the guided meditation. So begin to open up and have that two-way dialogue, because that's what discernment's leading you towards. Consciousness week 1, discernment. So we're going to learn today discernment of yes and no, but we're going to also open up our heart and mind to add to it, because discernment could be when you see a color, when you feel a particular energy that shows up in your environment, you see a symbol, or you hear a word, or you have a thought. All of those are forms in which there's a process of discernment. But today we're going to learn how to do the step of using, and I'm going to give you lots of examples on how we could figure out what a yes is and what a no is. So becoming aware of your innate intuitive discernment processes. I have a few slides that just speak to that. So here, open up in your mind in hindsight to see if any of these things have occurred in your life. A gut feeling, you just know things, you just feel like it's a yes or no, or you just completely, you get this gut hunch. Goosebumps, which is also angel bumps. It's almost like you get into your truth, or something happens and you're flooded with this yes vibration, that yes, you're in alignment, keep going. It's that cheering energy from vibrationally flowing through us from our angels and our divine team. It makes us feel like angel bumps, like cool, warm chills down your spine. A lightness or a heaviness could lead you with a yes or a no. Sometimes that lightness makes you feel like, can't wait. I feel so freeing and liberating and open. And when you feel that way, it feels like, yeah, there's movement here, there's space, it feels good. Or the no factor could be that you feel blocked or hesitant, reservations. You feel like even your hands are coming up to protect and defend. There's many ways that heaviness can feel up in your chakras, in your field of energy. We're going to get into that next, but it's like a closing protective feeling or a definite restriction. So it could mean your throat chakra closing up, not wanting to speak words, or your heart chakra feeling heavy, or your root, your solar plexus, which is your stomach. It shifts from a feeling of, you actually constrict your muscles even, and you hold your gut in because it feels like, what? Like you're anticipating something that's maybe a no, or something that is unwanted. You can feel this as I say this, because in hindsight, trust me, you have experienced, even consciously or subconsciously, all of these, and it's your higher self. It's your soul communicating in alignment with all aspects of you, including your subconscious. So openness and closed. The next one is sensing someone looking at you and then turning around to see someone staring at you, whether you're in a mall or sitting in a public space, or driving in your car and sitting at the traffic light. There's so many times where I have felt just guided to look over, and there was someone staring at me. I don't know if anyone's had that, but that is such a common thing. Sensing the presence of a loved one is no different. We just feel that energy connecting. We feel that flow of focus coming towards us, just like in the physical world. So too can we send telepathic signals to one another and experience the thoughts or memories of friends or people who haven't seen a while, and we begin to think about them because they are thinking about us, or we're about to walk into them and be at the same place, maybe the grocery store or somewhere where we just bump into them, and we were wondering, wow, I kept thinking about you lately. That is so common. So these are also just a way to describe that no differently if someone was in the room near you, you can sense it in a different dimension, but it's the same feeling of discernment. Repetitive thoughts or conversations around you that seem to be aligned with your current situation. Ascended masters and angels and our guides often know it's in our heart before we even make sense out of it and articulate it and put it out there. So often we're working on it and it's kind of stewing, but we haven't figured it out. We get nudges. And so conversations happen, or you keep getting the repetitive thought, or or lyrics on the radio, or saying the same tune over and over again. And when you listen to these repetitive things, you can actually have another external way of receiving guidance from your unique team of helpers. And also vivid dreams and visions, even when you're in waking moment, having visions and premonitions, or even feeling as if, wow, I've been here. This seems so familiar, like deja vu. So open up your mind, because these are all your innate intuitive discernment processes. So sensing when someone is lying or trying to manipulate you, that one's huge, because you can often recognize that maybe in the moment you ignored it. And there's been many times where I felt like I didn't want to be a bad person, so I said yes. So our ego gets in the way. But if we're able to process from our higher self, we're going to see transparently into these manipulations or lies or people that are trying to edit the stories so that, you know, they because they have their own agenda, their own ego agenda. So we're able to really tune in and have more consciousness into it transparently. And then you'll be able to feel in your solar plexus when somebody is trying to assert their will over yours. You'll feel it in your gut sometimes, or you feel a heaviness, right? So here's the next slide. The ability to trust your gut and make decisions in the moment with certainty that you're aligned with your path, because that's really the end goal. The way in which we're going to look at the landscape of the spirit world is for us to ascend. It's for us to go from being fearful and uncertain and doubtful and only relying on the conditions of this material world to validate who we are, or to experience whether we can take action or we're worthy, is really very limited. So one of the most amazing things that you can do is to break through those limitations and liberate yourself from the identity that you've put on yourself over your life, and begin to really tap in and tune into who you truly are. And ascended masters are one of the beautiful realms that helps bring us that wisdom and open up our hearts so we could be a channel of alignment with our life purpose and our higher self. So developing of the skills to know the difference between the voice of ego and the voice of God. So we're going to do a few exercises so you today can really tune in and learn what your yes is and what your no feels like within your mind and body and heart and field of energy. And so we're going to talk about that. Okay, so get ready. I'm going to go over the first one, which is inside voice. So just follow along with me. And I want you to feel in your body what happens, maybe just in your senses. Just feel it intuitively in your gut, how it feels in your experience in your body. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to state your full name, your first name, if you have a middle name or two middle names, or a hyphenated last name. Say the whole name. And I want you to say it in a way that's truth. Like, just say it like you mean it.
Linda Christine Caird
Oh, you
Forgan.
just say it inside voice. I just heard someone. So thank you. Or you could just mute and see how that feels. If you want to say it out loud, by all means. I'm just gonna, okay. And now I want you to try lying to your body. State a false name and notice the difference. So say it in your mind, quiet inside voice, inside your mind. See how that feels. And now what happened to me when I did that was I felt like my willpower, when I said my real name, Kirsten Elizabeth Hodgins, I felt like I had a flow of energy that was expansive and expressive, frontward energy. I felt free, my stomach felt opened. But when I did the false name, my body collapsed and I actually had a lump in my throat and a heaviness in my stomach, and my back and my neck kind of crunched up energetically. So those are the type of experiences that you might experience as your yes and as your no. It's so subtle, or it could be just just a sense of it. You just sense it in your awareness. You just feel like a lightness or a heaviness. Or you could really feel your energy, by your energy field actually in truth be so one boundaryless energy, just pouring out and one with nature, one with the world, because it's truth. It is your oneness. And or it could be that the energy field collapses like a marshmallow and becomes very thick. You could feel the density. So that's another way, because a truth is going to make you feel like perhaps even fear energy. You know how that feels like? So that's one of the beautiful way to begin to using your body as a dowsing rod, like a pendulum. I think that's what you call them, pendulums, where you could begin to learn what a yes and no is. And even practice this with your body. Be a pure channel, because this is the first layer to discerning all sorts of beautiful language of your soul. Work like how to get symbol, how to download knowing and understand it and articulate it through feelings and through words. There's no end to what discernment can do, but this is the first level of being able to understand a yes and no, perhaps, as a guide. Exercise 2. Can you think of a to-do list? And choose like 2 or 3 things. If you just close your mind and you just think about 2 or 3 things that maybe you've wanted to get to as projects or tasks that you want to get to this week or even tomorrow. And perhaps maybe you feel a little bit of overwhelm, or even noticing you're procrastinating, whatever, or just things you need to get to, mundane chores. And I want you to see, just by allowing with your intention and your will, just say, you want to sense and feel the priority sequence, and just notice how that shows up and aligns in your higher self. Because you're putting it out there and you're speaking and you're connecting with your higher self and your will in alignment with God's will in terms of living life with peace, ease, and joy. So speaking to your higher self, what sequence? Is there one that just feels like it's the only one that's really important, and actually now you could put the others off? You feeling a little bit more in charge and organized? That's a beautiful way to begin to discern. It's really just opening up and asking how this is. Really feel in your body, because maybe there's action steps that happened as well. Because trust me, when you're open, all sorts of information could be coming through. And what we're doing is we're learning to discern between the ego voice and the voice of our higher self in connection with the infinite. So that's the next level, beginning to inquire, asking questions. So thanks, guys. So this week, your mindful action is your discernment process. So practice tuning into your inner being this week. Practice discernment daily, because the more you tune in and begin to develop that relationship with your inner being, the more you'll recognize the beautiful beings and divine that flows through you every moment. You are not separate from it. It is an aspect within you, and you are infinite, eternally connected. So it's a waking up point and realizing that you are already one with it, and it's wielding your attention and you're opening up to that aspect just as much as you are to all other aspects, your ego, your voice. You're tuning in and you're discerning. So how you can do that is practice your to-do list, perhaps grocery shopping, whether you need those items or not, or if it comes from a place of need or for an alignment with your higher self, maybe you're on a budget or whatever. Just try and borrow this discernment practice when you're in the car and you're looking for directions, or you want to go into a particular mall or shopping area, or you want to be able to be guided to get there, finding lost objects. Open up and feel pulled. Use your body to guide you like a magnet or gravity. There's so many beautiful ways to practice decision-making processes, feeling the yes or no between, plan A, plan B, choosing foods and beverages and vitamins. I often will hold the food or keep it in mind, and my body reacts to what it truly needs. And my body tells me, our bodies are always sending signals, like smoke signals, what it needs. But it's what we want to begin to pay attention to it. So sometimes my iron is so low, I haven't been paying attention until I am intuitively nudged. And then I begin to really seek what it's aligned with my body and become one with it in terms of efficiently loving myself more. So if anyone can join me on that one. But also signposts of your soul for longings versus the fear beliefs. That's what we're beginning to evolve to beginning to just channel from the soul and live from our soul and have life that we're meant to. So part 2 is all about the ascended master realm. So this is the really important. I can't wait to get into this, because landscape of the spirit world is, we briefly addressed it in week 1, but I really wanted to explain a bit more. I've got bold red ascended masters, and next week it's spirit guides and elementals, and then we finish in the realm of the deceased loved ones. So special, healing. I can't wait. So as you see here is Isis, who's the Egyptian goddess of magic and death and healing and rebirth and fertility and motherhood and all sorts of wonderful things. And symbolically, here is the Ankh, which is the symbol that I see when she shows up. You also may recognize her from this image, or maybe even the long wings, the eagle wings that she's often depicted with. So how we can begin, that's just one way, but I'm going to go through other ways, because in the guided meditation, when we open up to that realm, it's so boundless in what we can connect with that's helping you uniquely. So here we go. This is the landscape of the spirit world. Last week we went up here on pure love and light. We talked about the archangels and our guardian angels. And this week we're still going to hang up there in the pure love and light with the ascended masters. And I'm going to just briefly explain. This is a concept that helps satisfy our intellect. This, just like our ego, we really learn from concepts, from maps, from charts. No differently is this chart. It helps us to really understand it from a human mindset. So, but really there is no hierarchy of greater or more. It's just all on top of it in dimensions and realms. So just for the sake of this course, I've got 3 columns that I wanted to introduce, but we're going to hang out in the Ascended Masters this evening. So all on this side, underneath the archangels, down to the elementals and entities, they are beings that have never lived in a human form on this earth plane. In the middle is all beings that have come here to live life in a physical body or animal, or no, excuse me, not animal, human form. Animal is over here where ascended masters and angels are, including our deceased pets. They are not human, they're animals. So in the middle column, it's all the beautiful human journey. And this is what I want to share for this slide. This is basically the ascended masters have walked for thousands, hundreds, who knows how many lifetimes that they have been reincarnated in. They bring the consciousness into each life, and they are able to evolve and grow and evolve. So we have fear at the bottom of this chart, where we call ghosts and earthbound spirits who live in fear. They don't want to be judged by God. Maybe they're holding on to some shame or feel so, they've sinned maybe in life, and they don't want to be punished. They believe in a punishing God. They're fearing God, or they believe that they don't want to have to deal with the people. Maybe they didn't have the best relationships, or their marriage ended well, and they're like, I don't want to see them. So they want to choose to hang out and attach themselves to the earth. So that's the course for another time. But I wanted to tell you that's fear. We have a free will. And our free will allows us to choose our path, and consciousness and choice is a big part of that. It's a part of our life purpose and our journey. And how we choose and how we allow our will is that they always have a choice. These beings have ascended masters and angels, but they tune it out. Just like sometimes we do when we don't want to hear the truth. because we're so stuck on that frustration or that unforgiveness, right? But the ascended masters have evolved. They've let it go. They see only love. They have transcended their ego. They have pure love and light. They're omnipresent. You know, when I talk about this, I feel as if when we're channeling, when we're opening up our heart and mind, how we can tune into others is much like Jesus. It's much like those beautiful abilities to come from love and to be of service. And that's literally what we're all learning. We're moving away from that self-service, you know, being in fear and I got to survive and I don't have time to worry about you. I got things on my plate, to abundance and trust and faith and love. And that's where there's no judgment. There's no editing or filtering. It's like pure, authentic self. And that's the journey that we're all on if you choose so. And there's ups and downs and a course for another time as to why, you know, why evil, why bad, but we're all aspects of that. And before I move on to the next slide, otherworldly. Have you ever heard of Esther Hicks or any of those those people who channel these ascended masters, these beings? They're outerworldly. They're from other planets that have evolved and that come here mutually beneficial to help us evolve. And so the messages are so loving from, you know, Abraham, who Esther Hicks channels, is a collective energy who she says calls Abraham, a singular. And it's such beautiful, if you haven't looked into that, that's an example of how otherworldly beings could be showing up in your guidance tonight, in your guided energy or throughout your life without even consciously knowing it. It's just deep wisdom and love. So now, who are the Ascended Masters? What are their functions? And how can we recognize them? So let's just take a few more minutes. So who are Ascended Masters? They lived as humans, as I said. They could be those demigods or goddesses or all those mythical creatures or saints or the churches that have assigned them status. And they could have, because we see and we perceive uniquely, they could show up in your third eye as halos, or they could be a channel of God and live from their higher self. They transcend fear, as I said, and only have pure love intentions. They're egoless. There's no agenda. They go from self-serving to being of service. Their pure loving intentions transcend time and space. And they are or could be ancient teachers, gurus by words of actions. And so how we can experience it, this is what you may be experiencing in the guided meditation today. You could be experiencing anywhere in the feeling nature in your body. Often we begin to experience them through a subtle touch or warmth or heat or a pressure. And sometimes around the chakra, the crown, for mental shifts, around the heart, maybe perhaps helping us to open up and to open up our heart and to come to be more love unconditionally without judgment, letting go of shame or blame and moving into forgiveness and compassion. Maybe even around the solar plexus for peace and joy and liberation from the old restricting beliefs on who we think we are, because our solar plexus often get blocked because we mentally identify ourselves and label ourselves from our past experiences, which is very limited. So it helps us to open up and expand our consciousness to see who we truly are as a light of God. Those are what the archangel, or I should say ascended masters, may be supporting you and all over your body. Maybe your third eyes to help you to see in to yourself in the way in which is truth, or to have visions and to support you on your journey ahead, brings enlightenment and creativity. Can also experience them as sparkles of light, often in readings. When I know ascended masters are working strongly with clients, they seem to be hovering very high above their crown chakra, which is why I believe we experience it as if we're channeling that light. And that's how I'm going to guide you into connecting this evening, is to really pour it into your crown chakra. But really, it's within us, because we are not separate from divine, but it just amplifies and becomes consciously aware through that channeled feeling. thoughts of higher perspectives, a voice of wisdom. You could be hearing words of compassion, sometimes just phrases, much like quotes from a book or references of wisdom that come through. You could even see images. So this evening, open up your third eye and allow yourself, give yourself permission to see symbolically how these beings wanted you to recognize them and become familiar with them. It's incredible because many of the people that I talk to that are light workers, it's almost like the realm of the Ascended Masters got together and said, let's depict ourselves to humans through visions of wearing a long beard with white to represent wisdom, because I keep seeing them with gowns and sandals and staffs, which is one of the ways that many people commonly will see an ascended master. But you also may see ascended master as beams of light or unique representations about what associates them in their lifetime as humans. So some of which could be across religious figures. The first one that comes out in my mind is Jesus. Could be the Ankh sign, which is Isis, the goddess Isis, Egyptian goddess, or any type of clothing that you could connect to those beings. And we're going to talk about a few. And the staff, which is wisdom. Those are just some of the ways in which they go beyond that, because they also give you symbols that only you will uniquely understand, for you to understand. So the I am discourses, just as a reminder that I love this quote. It says, I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within me, the I am, that doeth the works. I love this because it's us in co-creation with being a channel and with opening up and creating. And not to get too carried away with that quote, but I think it's beautiful to remember that, often we get stuck in our life thinking that we got this and we're in a place of doing, and we cut out divine. And just remember, when you're not practicing mindfulness or consciousness, how limiting you could really experience this evolution in your life. And so I just welcome you to practice and open up to conscious mindfulness and practicing discernment in your life. And trust me, when you put these tools and techniques to use, you are asking divine to step up and to support you too. So it is twofold. Trust me. So meet the Ascended Masters. So I want you to look back and think about a time in your life, recent years. Have you had experiences of just all of a sudden creative insights, download of just knowing without having any analytical? You just arrived at just knowing stuff, finishing the words from people, or just knowing, creating inventions or resolution oriented, having clarity and epiphanies, like aha moments, overwhelming insights, overcoming ego and living more in love and being of service. Think about in hindsight how these things came about in your life. And have you ever just recalled a quote or even came with words of wisdom out of the blue, especially when you were helping someone and you're like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Because you are a channel of divine. And whenever we are of service, whenever we open up and seeking healing and guidance, we are channeling it. And so that's why that could be just a very small drop in the hat of what you've experienced. But the spiritual truth is, you are all a child of God. You are all profoundly psychic. It is your birthright. And you are pure channels to divine. We're just working on overcoming those blocks and limitations. And you are eternal and one with creation. And your divine team of helpers await your permission to support you, starting right now. And so we're going to take a look quickly. Gautama Buddha might be showing up to help you to master consciousness. You might experience symbolic Jesus helping you to feel more peace and one, and to wield your manifestation powers to co-create with your will in alignment with God's. And there's ways that Jesus might show up. The cloth, I get these colors in stripes on a cloth sometimes. You could get Mother Mary, who shows up, a soft blue or white energy, often like an ascended master right behind you, and with her beautiful hands on your shoulders, bringing comfort. And I often see Mother Mary with my friends and clients who are big listeners, and they're the ones who are sensitives, and they open up and they want to help their friends and their family. They're big hearted. And I feel like deep compassion for others. That's why Mother Mary is so with them. Ganesh, who's often is like, I'm just going to let you guys have these slides, but just open up your mind to all the incredible, there's millions of different beautiful beings that could come through for you. Lakshmi with her beautiful golden, she's all about having proper perspective, putting her head and heart together so that you could observe and understand. She helps you to make sense of life and bring abundance and fortune. And also ascended master, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, a beautiful example of those who I see Teresa around, Mother Teresa. I often feel like they're really big in fundraisers or charities, or they have such a big heart or compassion for certain things in life, where they give Reiki, free Reiki at hospices or places of caregiving. And it's incredible how these beings show up and support us in our life. And so now I want to get right in to the guided meditation. And a lot of information came up today. We have another 15-20 minutes of this beautiful journey. So all I ask is that you sit back and get comfortable now with all this beautiful connections that we're experiencing and feeling. Allow yourself to just be comfortable as we go on this journey together. And before I begin, I just wanted to say I will honor your time. It will be done by about 8:20 this evening. And in so doing, I will hang back after the guided meditation. If you feel like dropping off and continuing your meditation practice and journaling, then please do so. But if you feel guided to stay on, I'll spend another 5 minutes opening up for a couple of questions or sharing. I'd love to hear your experiences as we go into this journey this evening. Okay, so thank you and blessings, and we may begin. So allow yourself just to be in receiving posture. Perhaps just, relaxing your lower back and letting your belly go. Noticing your hip flexors and your thighs. Sometimes they're tense. Just relax them. Physical body. Bring awareness to your physical body. Feel the weight on your chair, calling you into this comfort and peace and ease. And now, as we begin to feel the weight on the chair and connecting with that beautiful Mother Earth gravity, become aware of the space around you in your environment. Perhaps you can begin to experience the heat registers, maybe cool breeze. Just allow whatever experience is becoming consciously aware in your senses now. What you hear. Allow yourself to smell. Allow yourself to taste. And as we go in deeper into our inner being, we ensure that our eyes are closed so that we are allowing our inner being to be more readily accessible to our senses. And I would welcome you to scan your body from head to toe. And just imagine like a beam of light pouring down from above into your crown and moves all the way through your body to your throat, your third eye, your throat, your chest, your shoulders, just penetrating like a beam of light, washing over your heart, your chest, your lungs, your stomach, your back, your rib cage, all the way down to your reproductive organs, your hip flexors and butt. Just as you breathe in and out, you experience it all the way down your legs, all the way down your thighs, your knees, your calves, ankles, feet, and soles of your feet. We are now in our higher self. We open our hearts in prayer and invite Archangel Michael to surround and protect each of us now. We're asking this experience to be a guidance and alignment with God's will for us to connect with our ascended masters this evening, our unique beings of love and light who help us on this spiritual journey to evolve and to be liberated and to know who we truly are as spiritual beings. We ask for help from all of our unique helpers as well, who are aligned with this journey in alignment with God's will for us. Thank you. May this be a blessing, a healing, and deep clarity and guidance in all aspects of our life today. And we ask for it to be miracles and magic from God's will. And we give permission for it to be so in our hearts. And we give thanks. So now we open ourselves, our heart up even more in this beautiful place. And I ask to speak to your higher self. Notice as you allow your higher self, that heightened sense of awareness, come full front and center now. We ask for you to be consciously aware of all aspects of your being, how you feel, how you see in your mind's eye, what you hear in your thoughts and in your mind and heart, and what you know in your claircognizance, your ability to download and know. I ask now your higher self be fully and consciously aware of all your metaphysical senses on this journey. Give yourself permission now. Say yes if you agree. I give myself full permission to connect with my higher self safely, knowing that it is a blessing from God's will and connecting with our ascended masters today. Say that quietly in your inside voice. Beautiful. I am now continuing to speak to your higher self as one. Join me on this journey now. Notice a ball of golden light, the infinite mind that we're all consciously connected to now. Notice it hovering above your crown. Allow yourself, your higher self, to connect and allow it to physically penetrate into your crown chakra, feeling its beautiful warmth and expansion now. Deepening your sense of relaxation. Feeling more and more peaceful and calm. Experiencing a beautiful high vibration like never before. Allow this golden light to fill your left and right hemisphere of your brain like an electrical panel, lighting up and balancing and aligning all aspects of your physical mind and body, cleansing and clearing any distortion, deletion, or editing from our ego. This will take a moment. Allow it now to cleanse and reset to its higher self in alignment with God. Experience all you want in your feeling nature. Allow this vibration to become brighter and more palpable in your senses now. Noticing how it's expanded and pouring outward in and down the back of your eyes, the back of your sinuses and nose, and into the back of your head, down your spine, all the way down. Noticing your throat, allowing this beautiful essence of one, this ball of the infinite conscious mind, to connect with your throat, soothing and bringing nothing but peace and healing to all aspects of your throat chakra. Healing. All words not spoken. Just allow yourself now to open up to hear truth and hear the voice of divine now. Allow yourself to experience color, sensations, thoughts, as it penetrates this beautiful ball of light, is beginning to create a beam, a massive beam down. You're feeling it more over the shoulders, into the upper heart, down the back. And with each breath in, we draw its power. And with each exhale, we surrender more and more and become immersed into it effortlessly. Allowing it to whirl and align your whole body, every cell, every molecule of your body lights up with one, with the infinite, as we allow ourselves in preparation of our channeling. Feeling more peaceful and more lighter, floating, more expanded, more in heightened consciousness. We have now shifted into a place of eternal peace and love. As this energy penetrates deeper into our hearts, pouring down unconditional love from our arms and our hands, washing away any past burdens of pain and sorrow forevermore. Allow this healing miracle light of God's will in alignment with your will. Will it to be so. And this beautiful energy penetrates even more, washing over the solar plexus, into the chambers of the solar plexus, where the mental mind chatter calms it forevermore, aligns it with God's infinite mind, where your true self can be experienced now. Experience the sensations in your body as we have now completely immersed ourselves in the consciousness of the infinite, one with Creator and our ascended masters, as they connect and anchor themselves into our solar plexus, into our belly, liberating ourselves from any limited self-talk, limited mindsets now. Feel the shift of freedom and joy and peace. As we come into the final stage of anchoring it into our lower body, in alignment with our emotional center, our reproductive center, where we connect with our ascended masters through our feeling nature. We allow this ball, this beautiful, massive beam that encompasses our whole body, to wash away any hindrances or blocks in terms of your desires. Know your wants and desires are purely in alignment with your higher self and with God's will now. There is nothing that you seek in your heart that you are not meant to create. You are meant to experience that which you desire in your heart. Your ascended masters will help you to sift through truths. In a moment, as we connect one final gauge, as we bring that beam down our legs and experience it now in your senses. Check in with your body. You are so relaxed. You are peace like never before. You are so high vibrationally connected and plugged in with your higher self and with God. Feel that oneness now. And finally, we open our consciousness and invite our ascended master who most prominently works with us in our current life now. See this being like a big white mist around you in this beautiful oneness. Allow this being to immerse into your conscious awareness now. Perhaps you're feeling a shift in your body. Perhaps on your receiving side, on your left-hand side, where they show up. Or perhaps they have a hand on your back. Or you're feeling them all around your crown chakra, pouring down into your awareness. Become consciously aware now. Allow yourself to feel them palpably like a mirror in your body. How are they shifting and swirling and vibrating within your being? Are they swirling and bringing any sensations to your chakras or your body? Feel it now uniquely for you to discern. Perhaps a hand over your heart to go to be easy on yourself and honor where you are. Ascended masters with hands on your crown chakra, bringing calmness to your mind so you could connect with your heart. Or a massive warm pool of love that's basking you in this newfound shift of self-love and awareness. Perhaps this is vibration like never before in your light body, within your physical light body, subtle vibrations that are amplified with such awe and reverence like never before. Allow this vibration to be experienced. Free and liberate yourself now. Sink into this deeper, deeper, more and more at ease and one. As I speak to your higher self now, invite conversation with your ascended master. Allow them to communicate now through symbol, through signs, through color. How are you helping me at this time, my ascended master? Ask, and you shall receive. Experience experience their communication in all aspects of your senses. Feel, hear, see, and communicate. Allow your inquisitive nature, your heart, to have a conversation now. How are you helping me, Ascended Master? Wow, you'll instantly feel a shift, a visual now. I leave you hanging out here for a few moments to experience all that your guardian, your Ascended Master wishes for you to know, to see, to hear, and to feel at this time. Enjoy the love that now pours through you in all your awareness. And allow this Ascended Master to give you the gift of wisdom. Allow yourself to open up consciously in your mind, connecting with your heart for deep wisdom, aha insights, deep expanded states of knowing and loving like never before. Welcome it in now. And we receive one final piece of guidance. Ask that one piece of guidance and how, or questions in your heart. What do I need to know most, Ascended Master? And experience it now. Thank you. As we now begin to become consciously aware, we give thanks in our heart and we allow ourselves to bow. See the Ascended Master bow and see yourself bow as well. And feel that love and appreciation and sending it into your Ascended Master's energy field, into the heart. And notice the amplification as you give, you receive 100% even more, filling you up with such love and awe, inspired love and light. And hold that in your heart and anchor it in forevermore. And as we bring ourselves to say thanks, we come back into our senses physically. We begin to just feel so elated and at peace, but we bring back an alert mind, an alert body, and we wiggle our toes and we wiggle our hands, and we bring our hands up to prayer position, and we bow our heads in thanks as we are now one and connected forevermore, consciously and subconsciously, with our Ascended Masters. And we say thanks from God's will and from our will, in alignment with God's will. We say thanks. Amen. So thank you. If you want to drop off and channel and continue, blessings. Thank you so much. If you wish to stay and share, I would love for you to do so. Otherwise, I will see you next week on week 3 for Spirit Guide and Elementals. Take care.
Kirsten,
Hi, Martha.
I I didn't see anybody specific this time, but I had a lot of feeling this time, which is different for me because usually I'm much more visual. Um, but it was like a tingling kind of, you know, down my arms and in different places. And I often feel it on my face, but today it was very much on my arms. But I could sense them as well. And there was more than one. So
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't always just, I see them, I sense them more, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
That's your way, Martha, of your perception. So what you're beginning to do is you're beginning to understand, wow, discernment. I, with ascended masters, may connect more palpably, or just as you're saying, and maybe for deceased loved ones and for other realms, for you, maybe that's more visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it seems to be.
Yeah. Beautiful demonstration. And you may not be the only one on this too. So thank you for sharing. So symbolically, I was trying to leave it very unsuggested. I was trying to leave everyone to their own experiences by saying, feel, hear, see, and know. I wasn't trying to say too much. So sometimes when I suggest symbols and color, you are focused and able to become aware of them more consciously. So what I did for you, Martha, maybe for you, because I left it kind of open field, your way of discerning the ascended master realm would be to really feel them in your energy vibration.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else want to share their experience of their guided meditation tonight, or anything that they received? Did you experience, and who showed up for you? Was it an unknown, or something out of ancient history? Yes, Maria.
So when you took us through, I started at one point, it felt like I was seeing like a mist of a white shadow. And then I don't know how to explain it, but like Star Wars, the way it just swirled all around like blue and like speckle of white stars. Like it just, I can't explain it. It's like out of this world, the way it was just spiraling round and round. I didn't see anything, but I was receiving messages that we are here. And I asked, like, what do I need to know? Just be present at this time. What you're doing is fine. And I just started getting chills and goosebumps. But just that swirl of blue and just going round and round. And then it was just amazing.
Beautiful. Oh, there's so many juicy discernment pieces in there. And the
Yeah.
more you do this journey, the more you're going to understand the wielding light. And you got reminder, you were, wow, that reminds me of the saber. I think that's how you say it. And you can ask, well, wow, am I getting that representation? Because that's your unique way of perceiving the information. So all of you who have received symbolism, it's for you to discern. So for you, Maria, there might be some form of association that you give to that, or the blue energy color is phenomenal. In the 9-week the 9-week divine communication certificate course, we delve in to color and symbols and all the way to perceive
Wow.
information. So you're communicating, you're seeing divine signs, and the way your soul could, it's the language of the soul we're learning. It's learning how to discern the language of the soul, which is what we're doing. And that's beautiful. You are a pure channel. All of you are. And this is exciting. So thanks for sharing, Maria.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
And for those who aren't seeing, and for those who aren't feeling, trust me, the more you open up, the more you practice, the more you show up and people demonstrate, the more you'll open your mind to realize that you too are experiencing it. So you could be a real cognitive person, a real thinker, and things come in thought waves, and you just know things or sense things in a way that's from memory or thoughts or words. So never dismiss anything that comes to you during a guided meditation. It is uniquely for you to discern. And so anyone else want to share or have questions?
I'd just like to say for Martha also that I often get little tingly on my face. And today I was just kind of had a little sneeze, and there was this a lot of energy just going in my hand today. That's all I can say. Did you? I don't know if you felt it. It was just this kind of day. It was huge amount of energy going in. It was massive.
I felt a lot in my hands as well.
Today,
Almost like I was holding energy balls.
My left hand,
Balls
it
of
was more
energy.
my left than my right.
Yeah.
So in this meditation, I wasn't asking you to ask and receive because I didn't want to over pile you, because this is a intuitive awakening. This is beginner. Many of you are not beginners. None of you are beginners, actually.
I am.
Well, Linda, we are so honored that you're here. Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm a beginner.
Yeah. Yeah. How was your experience, Linda?
I love it. Every week I just feel like you take something else in.
Yeah.
I just, I'm open, and I just like things keep coming to me.
Beautiful.
I just feel so blessed to be a part of this. So grateful.
Yeah. Yes. And we're all honored. I'm honored that you're here
Thank
too,
you.
Linda, and sharing. Yeah. And so what you're doing is you're literally getting to know your inner being in connection with all the beautiful divine love that is around you and works with you. We're becoming conscious of it. And so it doesn't have to just happen during a guided meditation. We can begin to take these 2 mindful actions each week, and helps us to shift into a state to begin to become aware of them more and more in our everyday life. And so thank you so much for sharing. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Actually, I wanted to ask you something. While we were in the meditation, and I mean like deep into the meditation state, I felt, I mean, I know I was here, but for some reason I felt that I was having like an outer body experience kind of thing, like floaty, very floaty, that if I know I was still firm and I know I was grounded, I was good, but I felt like sometimes like I was like, I wanted to not, like, I don't know how to explain it. I knew it was here, but at the same time, I felt that I was not in my body. I was like,
Yeah.
do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely. Many people can experience this, especially since that's why I was putting words in. I don't know if I was speaking to your higher self. I was saying, liberate and free yourself, allow yourself, like, let go, like, go with it. Don't hold back, because that is some fear. I don't know. Maybe I should stay here and we become physical. What you're doing is you're dissolving the boundaries. The molecules, the energy that's within you is so lit up and so alive with the essence of love and light and peace that you no longer can. It's actually transcending. It brings you out into the alternate reality, past, present, future. It's where we channel, it's where we have outer body experiences, it's all those things. So you've experienced it, transcending and levitation, all those things. They say that's
exactly.
that state of being able to, yeah.
Very interesting. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So thanks, everybody. This has been exciting. My pleasure, my honor to be on this journey with each of you. I wish you all a lovely week ahead, and we will see each other next week on Monday. Same Monday at 7:30. And email me if you have questions. Take care. Bye.